What's up, y'all? What is popping? We are live. We are live in the Miami um, fashion district. As you can see, um, I was trying to get to the Haitian Museum, but I didn't get here early enough. You already know what's popping. Hydrate, niggas. Hydrate. 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 What's up, Yvette B? I am live in Miami in the fashion district. We got, as you can see, there's Alexander McQueen. With the eye killer queen, the Alexander McQueen got the wrist so woke, the bottom is so cold, got the shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy. We got Chanel. You already know. I can't. I'm surprised I don't see Kevin Samuels down here. I'm exhausted, and I ain't even work today. I'm exhausted, and I didn't even work today. We got Prada. What's that? Y'all gonna have to help me with some of these names. Chanel, all of these names. Lambo truck. Yup, that's the Lambo truck. So you know we in the upscale side of town. Masonic checkerboard. So you already know what's going on. You know, Alexander McQueen. That's Balenciaga, y'all. Yo, look at 9. Man, they signed in like 2 years. What's that? VSL, YL. It's like none of this stuff really like impresses me. On the way to some more juice. What being said? Five. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. How you feeling? We about to talk about these limits. Get these strategies. Dope over here. I'll let you know. You know what? I'm probably gonna sit somewhere here so I can talk to y'all right quick. Cause I'm tired. What's this? Lord something. It's a window shopper. Window shopper. I'm a window shopper right now, y'all. They go Hermes. Say Hermes. I might name my daughter Hermes. Cartier. Got the Cartier, you know. Cartier wristwatch, Cartier glasses. Dior. What's that, Dior? She's rocking Dior, Dior. How do you know this? But we're in the range of dogs. She like the way that Shout out to Pop Smoke. Rest in peace to the legend Pop Smoke. Louis Vuitton. They got a Louis store. Dior. In Sagittarius. The sun is in Aries, so this is that Met Gala. This is that Met Gala type stuff. What's this? Valentino? Oh, Hugo? Oh, we were the real shit at now. We were the real shit at now. In the rich. Yo, I heard of Gucci, but what's Gucci? It's all gonna have oh, Hugo. gonna sit. I think I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit on this. I'm gonna sit right here. I'm gonna sit right here. Out of the spot is on the loop of you sitting. What about now? How is it? How bad would that be? Let me know. Is it still bad? I'm gonna go somewhere else. You said you can hear me. Cause they over here playing copyrighted music. I want my stream to get dinged. I had to get out and come back. Okay. Yeah, my stream was a little it was a little slow. I had to go to a different location. Is it still good? I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go over here across the street and sit down, away from all of the commotion. Okay, over here by the Hermes store. The only reason why I know of some of these, most of these stores, is because of rap songs and Kevin Samuels. So, whew. All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna sit right here. I'm gonna sit right here. Okay, let me hydrate for a minute. Let me hydrate. Let me hydrate. Alkaline water, and cucumber, and lime in it. Want to tell y'all what this has done to my stomach? Whew. Okay. All right, so y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, right now, um, so the sun now is in Aries in the ninth house. You know, Shango is in Obatala's house right now. You know, and the moon is in Sagittarius in the fifth house. You know, so right now, um, Obatala is giving Shango some game, if you will, about um, you know what it is that he's going to end up being. Um, let's see, what degree is it in? So it's 4 degrees. So this is still a young Shango. You know, this is a young Shango who was destined to be a king since he was a child. You know, this was a young Shango who was always destined to be a king, always destined to be a ruler. You know, he was always destined to be the way he was. So when you're talking about a young man, who's destined to be this ruler, destined to be this leader, and all of this type of stuff. Um, this type of boy, this type of son is gonna have a lot of light. He's gonna have a lot of light around him. You know, um, this is the type of son that is looked at as God's gift to the world. You know, in the Bible, when they say, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten son," you know, um, that was talking about Shango. In this aspect, you know. Remember what I talked about in the when Aries season first started, I was talking about the baby Shango, you know. So now, we're getting more and more into Aries season, so this is the young Shango. This is the young Shango. He's um he's a lot more getting more into who he is and stuff like that. You know, he's clinging on to his father. You know, um, he's seeing right now how prestigious his father is and how much of a leader that his father is. His adopted father. You know, and but right now, you know, um, there's a there's a small disconnect right now. There's a small disconnect when it comes to um, Shango and Obatala. Even though Obatala, he can truly understand where Shango is coming from, as a young king, a young boy, a young man who's destined to be a king. Um, one of the best things that I'm so one of the best things that Obatala did when it came to Shango. You know, when he started to see different things, when he started to see different ways and different things that different ways that Shango was acting, as far as him having a really bad temper, him being very hot-headed, you know, him being that charismatic type of person, you know. Um, he got all of that from his real father, Aganju. Aganju, he's the original god of the volcanoes. He lives underground. He represents the volcanoes. He represents that the god of lava. That lava. That real strong fire essence. You know, um, that we as men have in us. You know, so um, so this right now, this is talking about a few things that Obatala did, you know, um, in helping Shango become this king. You know, the first thing that he did was um, he let him visit his real father. Shango has um, a very good relationship with his real father, Aganju. You know, and he was able to learn about why he is the way he is from his real father. You know, so he was able to learn. He was able to learn through his real father how to cultivate his gifts and talents as a warrior. How to cultivate his energy. So he can learn um, how to shoot bolts of lightning. It's a concentrated to shoot a bolt of lightning, with your hands and how to use that axe that he has, being a warrior. You know, um, these are things that his real father Aganju had to teach Shango. Had to show him the ins and outs of how to properly use that essence that is a part of him, that is a part of his father. You know, so once he got that game, and then now he's able to have a more respectable relationship with his stepfather Obatala. you know so that's one thing that's very important. That's one thing that's very important, um, because when we're talking about the black community, our melanated kings and stuff like that, a lot of times, dealing with a lot of these wayward yemoyas, a lot of these yemoyas, a lot of times, um, you know, a lot of obatalas deal with, um, yemoyas that have children, have sons and stuff like that. And it is very, very important. um, for that son to have a working relationship with their real father, so that they can respect you with what you come to give. So that's one big thing. What's up? Who is that? What's up, Shaman? Shaman 05. You know. So I'm just giving y'all the I guess the preliminary breakdown of what's going on. You know. Um, so right now, Obatala, he's telling Shango about a lot of his experiences. A lot of his experiences dealing with women, a lot of his experiences being the king that he is, the ruler that he is, the godfather that he is. And um what's up Straight Panther? And right now, um a lot of us right now, when we're talking about this Aries in the ninth house, because that's what's going on. um we're looking for that individual. For a lot of us men, you know we're coming off as this king, as this really really charismatic Shango type of character. And Obatala, he's like, yo, you know lead with your wisdom. Be the wise king. Don't be the womanizer king. Be the wise king. you know um and this is what is really being preached right now by Obatala. you know um when it comes to a lot of us, um with this moon in Sagittarius in the fifth house, this is that Brittany Renner energy. you know um right now, a lot of the Shangos are sowing their wild oats. you know they're looking to experience different ways of using their creative energy. you know um and the main thing that Obatala wants you to learn right now about doing that is, make sure that you understand that, um, you gotta be wise about these experiences that you're having. Be very wise, because at the end of the day, um, you know, if your purpose is to be a king, if your purpose is to be a queen, you don't want to be like Brittany Renner. You don't want to be like April Jones. You don't want to be like these Sky from Black Ink. Where you have all of these uh, experiences, experimental experiences, and then when it's time for you to step up to the throne, the people don't respect you. The people don't look to you as someone that's worthy of being a king, of being respected, of being obeyed. You know, and Obatala, he's been there. He's been there. He understands. Um, you know, he understands about what Shango is going to go through. Once he finally gets out there, and he got all this charisma, he got all this energy. You know, um, all the women are looking at him. All eyes are on him because he's the next one up. And when it comes to women, they can spot, they can energetically spot um, a man who got that king energy. You know, and you gotta make sure if your calling is to be a king, you gotta make sure that when it comes to these different muses and these different goddesses, or these different women that's gonna try to throw themselves at you, you gotta make sure that you're dealing with um, potential Obananis. you know and that's the reason why Obatala ended up linking him up with Obanani, you know, and that's something that a lot of us fathers and older men, that's what we used to do to the young kings, you know. If we saw a group of women who were potential Obananis, and we were able to confirm that, we would do certain things, put certain things together so that our Shangos can link up with those type of women, you know, and vice versa, you know, because when we're talking about Aries, when it comes to the woman side of the game, now we're talking about that divine horde energy, that Pambagita energy, that Mary Magdalene type of energy, you know. Fifth house in Sagittarius, when it comes to the women's side of the game, you know, these are creative thoughts, you know, a lot of different type of creative thoughts, a lot of horniness, wanting to experience, wanting to have different experiences and stuff like that. Um, and with Venus is in Aquarius in the seventh house, you know. So um, you know, this is someone who who feels like that they're a know-it-all when it comes to relationships. You don't want to be like that, like, yo, you can't tell me that this isn't the right situation, to partner up with. This isn't the right person to partner up with, you know. Um, a lot of a lot of women, in this type of example, they may be reaching out to people that they feel like are Obatalas to tell them about some of these thoughts that they're having, to tell them about some of these experiences that they're having. And all my men, if a woman is looking at you as an Obatala, and she's telling you about all of her sexcapades, and she's telling you about the way she's feeling and all of that, you know you can't judge, you can't judge right now. This is double fire energy, you know double fire energy. And with the way that this music media manipulation and stuff like this is going on out here, um, there's not a lot of positive examples on how to intelligently express your love. Intelligently, wanna go out there and use that that hot type of energy, you know, in a constructive type of way, you know. So I don't want to be long. I'm already 30 minutes out. So um, so right quick, I want to break this down um, for a. I'm gonna do it for the man side first, and then I'm gonna double back, and I'm gonna do it for the female side. So for the man side right now, um, this is 12 steps. The 12 steps for a young king. You know, I'm being Obatala right now. I'm being the Legba, the messenger. You know, and using this natal chart, using the natal chart for today, using this Orisha astrology, I want to give y'all 12 steps, 12 rules of the game. This is 12 rules of the game for my young kings, my young Shangos out there in this Aries season. Um, you know, 12 rules of the game for a young black king, you know. So we're gonna start off with the first house, and we're gonna go all the way around to the 12th house. And then I'm gonna double back, and I'm gonna do it for the queens, you know. So this is a young king, a young Shango, you know, um, who's feeling himself, he's adorned, um, he got the charisma, you know. People can already tell, people can already see that, that this young black man is gonna be a king, you know. And And these are 12 rules of the game that a older, respectable Obatala is gonna tell to this young Shango, this young black king. Hold on. Soon as I start really going in, then some kids start crying. Some babies start crying. Oh my God. All right. So um so we're gonna start off with the first house with the ascendant, you know. So the ascendant is in Leo, you know. So rule number one for my young melanated kings, my young Shangos out there. Rule number one: um, if you want to be seen as a king, you have to carry yourself like a king. You know, and this is from an image. This is from an image standpoint. You know, see that Leo in the ascendant. This is what gives you that personality. This is what gives you the look of the king. You know, um, this is what gives you that look of a king. You know, so a lot of young guys, a lot of young Shangos, they got this Leo in the first house. They feeling themselves. They're charismatic. They look good. They rocking the dope brands. They got the look and all of that. And it's very easy for you to be prideful with that. You know, but remember, pride cometh before the fall. You know, so not only do you have to look a certain way, you got to look like a king. Your personality has to be of a king, you know. But let that personality be because you love yourself. Let it come from the heart. Let that personality of a king, let it come from the heart. Don't let it come from the brands that you're wearing. Don't let it come from your hot body. Don't let it just come from you know um, other people looking at you like, yeah, he cute. Yeah, he hot. Yeah, he look good. You know, because pride cometh before the fall. So for my young kings, my young Shangos, um, you look hot right now. You look like someone who is meant to be a king, you know. Um, but my advice to you is, not only do you have to look it, you got to your heart has to be of a king as well, you know. And this is something that you studying your father, you know, who is a Obatala, you studying your father, that tough love, you know, that's what you learn from your father. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing, being a young king, you got to learn about tough love. You got to learn, you got to have that tough skin, because tough love is how you rule as a king. You can't be soft, you can't be timid and all of those type of things. You got to be able to show that tough love. You got to be able to show that you're a lion, but it got to come from the heart. It can't just be about what you got on, you know. Um, the second house is also in Leo. So this is, my young black kings, you got to hold your head up high. You got to hold your head up high. You got to stick your chest out, you know, and no matter what this world throws at you, you know, you gotta stand strong. You gotta stand firm. You gotta have the heart, you know. Um, when you have a high self-esteem, you know, and you have that, that kingly lion type of energy, you know. Um, this is someone who doesn't buck under pressure. This is someone who has that tenacity to where whatever needs to be done, you know, if it comes down to anyone else that got to do it, I'll proudly step up and get the job done. You know, um, think about the Queen Yalorde because we're talking about Leo. So the first house and the second house, you know, this is what's going to attract a Queen Yalorde to you. Remember, the Queen Yalorde is the only type of Oshun, the only type of Oshun that you need to be dealing with is a Queen Yalorde. A Queen Yalorde, she's gonna make you look good on your arm, you know, and she's gonna always help you with. She's always gonna motivate you. She's always gonna keep your self esteem high, you know, because she's gonna be on her shit too, you know. And those are the only type of baby oceans as a Shango, as a young king that you need to be dealing with, you know, and you need to have that attitude towards your value, you know. You look like a king, you got the attitude of a king, you got the personality of a king. You're holding your head up high, you're sticking your chest up as a king, you know. You don't let um, other people's looks and other people's way of stability, and you don't let that stuff phase you, you know. You can be a Shango, you can be a divine king with no money in the bank, and you can be a divine king with all the money in the world, you know, because it's not about that. It's about what's in here. This is what needs to be radiating from you if you want to be a Ja Lion Shango king, you know. So that's number two. That's number two. Now, number three. Number three, mindset. Um, Number three, when we're talking about the young kings, you know, the rules of the game when it comes to a young king, you got to have a issue mindset. You got to have a issue mindset, you know. So a lot of the way that Shango moves is because of what Eshu told him, you know. And that's why Shango and Eshu are like this, because Eshu was the only one that had the balls to tell Shango the truth, you know, about why he's really here, you know. And when it comes to you as a king, as a man, as a king, you know, you getting to know your inner child and letting your innocence make you alpha, you know, that's gonna radiate. That's gonna radiate and make you come off more as a elder with a rock solid mentality, you know. Um, can't nobody shake Eshu, even though he may come off as a baby, you know. Um, no one can manipulate Eshu to do anything that he don't want to do. And as a king, you gotta adopt that mindset. You gotta adopt that mindset. If Eshu has to walk alone, you know, in order to get the job done, he will walk alone. You gotta have that mindset as a king, you know. You gotta be able to have the mindset to be able to stand alone, you know. You gotta be able to have that type of mindset to be reclusive if need be. If everybody else is going this way, and you got that intuition and you got that leader type of mindset, you know, and people are going that way, you know, you gotta have enough heart, you gotta have enough courage to go the opposite way, you know. Even if you may be scrutinized, even if you may be scrutinized, you know, um, for not going the popular route. See, one thing the baby issue, he doesn't care about being popular. He doesn't care about being popular because he's about his father's business. And as a king, you got to be about your father's business. You know, you gotta you have to have a authority that's higher than you that you're answering to. You know, and for everybody that can be different. For everybody that can be different. You know, whatever Obatala means to you, when it comes to your mindset, Shango don't move. He don't move unless his father tells him to move. You know, so his mindset His mindset is rock solid, you know. But he still has that childlike essence about him, you know. And when it comes to your mindset as a melanated king, you know, you got to be able to balance that, you know. Um, what's in the sixth house? The sixth house, Capricorn, you know, because of your job, because of the job that you have, you know, that's you having a responsibility over your mindset. The reason why you got this responsibility over your mindset like this is because you understand with the reputation that you have and with the job that you have, you can't afford to do dumb shit, you know, because you got people looking up to you. Even when you don't think you got people looking up to you, you got secret enemies and you got people that's looking up to you, you know, looking for you to fuck up. So you always got to have that mindset, you know, that mindset of even if I got to walk alone, even if I got to be by myself, I'm still going to do what's right, you know? All right. So now let's talk about your roots, you know? Um, so we got Libra in the fourth house, you know? Um, having a good relationship with your roots is what's going to always make you come off as um, a king, as a Shango type of king. You know, fourth house in Libra, you having a good relationship with your heritage. You know, we got so many black kings out here, young black kings that are lost because they don't know who they are. You know, it was remember, it was Obatala that hooked Shango up with Obanani, which was the queen that was meant for him. You know, when he was just walking around and he was lost, you know, he was a womanizer because all the women was coming to him. He had the pick of the litter, you know. And who did he end up getting with? Oya. He ended up getting with Oya, you know. And it, you know, and that was a very even though it was a working, they had to work together. It was a chaotic type of relationship, you know, because he didn't have that game yet to let him know, yo, you're not supposed to mix business with pleasure. You know, as a king, you're not supposed. You'll never be taken seriously if 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 these women know to knock you off of your square as a king. They can throw you some poom poom, and you know, and you're gone. You know, a true king, will never put himself in a situation where he can get pussy whooped. But that comes from the home. That comes from the home. You know, me, I was raised up by a bunch of uncles. I got nine. I got eight uncles. You know, my father was an alpha male, so I learned at an early age about how detrimental being with the wrong woman can be. You know, not only just by what my father taught me about women, you know, just by studying all my uncles, you know, and their relationships and how they changed when they got with certain women, you know, and they got in certain relationships and stuff like that, you know. Let me see, multiverse is important, even though these masculine traits are being mentioned, divine feminine, we still have to balance our masculine energy. Yeah, and I'm gonna get to the women too. You know, this is for the men right now. This is for the men. So um, one of the main things as a king, you got to know who you are. You got to know your heritage. You know, it was Obanani. It was Obanani that kept Shango grounded. Obanani kept Shango grounded. You know, kept him grounded. When you looked at Shango and you looked at Obanani together, you saw a lineage. You saw a powerful lineage. you know. And this is something that Tariq Nasheed, with the foundational Black Americans and stuff like that, you know, um, even though a lot of people may disagree with what he's doing, all he's trying to do is connect you to a powerful lineage, you know, and that alone, you knowing who you are, you knowing that you come from such a powerful family. I'm a Freeman, you know, my my family is a part of the 13 families that built this nation, that built this country, and and I'm also a part of the history of the free slaves that went and created their own sovereign nation called the Freemans. We had our own bank, the Freeman's Bank. We had the Freeman's Bureau. All of these type of things. So my whole existence is about sovereignty. Is about carrying yourself in a certain way, because at the end of the day, you're not like these other people. you know you have a standard. You was raised right. I can't be out here doing certain things and acting a certain way, and being wild and crazy, acting like I don't got no home training, because I do. you know and I understand. This was ingrained in me at an early age that me acting a certain way, me doing a certain thing, it makes the family name look bad. you know and I'm a Freeman. you know I don't want to make my family name look bad. So that alone, it keeps me out of trouble. you know that alone keeps me out of trouble. Most of these young guys, they don't they don't look at their family as a heritage that they need to preserve, and a heritage that they need to keep that name high. Keep that name high vibrational. Because a lot of us, we weren't able to have that relationship with our father. What's up, IFE? I'm talking about the 12 things as a young king, that 12 rules of the game for a young king, or a young Shango. Aries, you're an Aries moon. You know, so you had to learn this through various experiences. Through various experiences, this is what you learn: how to become a king, how to become you already got the DNA of a young king, but you got to go through these experiences so that you can build upon that energy. You know. So fourth house. So rule number 4. The fourth rule: you got to know your heritage. You got to know your lineage. In order for you to add on to the lineage, you got to understand where you come from. Bob Marley said it best: if you know your history, then you know where you're coming from. You know, very important. So number five. So number five. You know, um, Number five. When it comes to the fifth rule, as a divine masculine, for my young kings out there, keep your sexcapades to yourself. You know, you don't want to be out here in the streets known as a whore and a womanizer and all those type of things. You know, always be that type of man to where a woman is like, yo, you know, I'll get with you because I already know you're not gonna tell nobody. I already know that if I get with you, if I have sex with you, you're not gonna put my business out in the streets. Because you got that alpha energy. You already come off as a king. You know, you already got the self-esteem as a king. You know, you already got that mindset. You already got that mindset of a issue, you know, uh, of a prophet, of an elder. You know, you already got that. Your heritage. See, this is all the things that, as a man, a woman sees this in you. They're like, yo, that man right there. He ain't like these other dudes out here. Like he's going places. He looks like he's going places. You know. So when it comes to your business, Keep your business, keep your business clean. Keep it to yourself. Keep that dark business. Keep that Scorpio shit. You know, um, that Oya shit. Cut that out. Keep that to yourself. You know, all the streets, everybody don't gotta know who you smashing. Move in silence. It's okay to move in secrecy as a king. It's okay they say real G's move in silence like lasagna. You gotta move in silence when it comes to your creative energy. Not everybody's supposed to know your moves. Not everybody's supposed to know your ideas and your moves and all of that type of stuff. You know, your business. When it comes to your business, when it comes to the way you transform, you know, let let your work speak for itself. You know, always have a transformation mindset when it comes to this fifth house. Always be working on creative ways to transform these energies. Always find transformative ways. Always find transformative ways to express your creativity. You know, be a trendsetter. As an alpha male, as a Shango, you got to be a trendsetter. Be a trendsetter. Don't be out here, doing what everybody else is doing. Be a trendsetter. Be mysterious. Have a mysterious nature about you when it comes to your creativity. When it comes to how you express that creative energy, that charisma. Have a mystery. Have a mystery about yourself. You know, that's what attracted Oya to Shango. Oya, she was a married woman at this time. She was married to Ogun, you know, but it was something about the way Shango carried himself creatively, and she was like, yo, it's something mysterious about him. I can tell that he got a lot of energy. I can tell that, he can probably, break my back out. He can probably blow my back out, but he don't, he's not all out here, you know, putting everybody business in the street, acting like a super womanizer, to where a woman is afraid to get with you, you know, because you're gonna blow the spot up. So with that being said, Shango, he was able to get with dignitaries, married women. He was able to get with, women that were in relationships, other queens, other princesses, you know, because they knew when it came to the way he moved, you know, he was going to keep their secrets. He was going to keep their business under wraps, you know, because with this, and this is a big thing. This is the moon in Sagittarius in the fifth house, or I think it's in the sixth house. Let me see. Yeah, the moon is in Sagittarius in the fifth house. So this is something that Obatala is driving home to him, like, yo, you really gotta keep that Oya thing under control. You gotta be able to control your sexual nature. Control that shit, you know? Because if not, with this vertex in Sagittarius in the fifth house, you know, this is gonna make you come off as a spiteful, passionate character, whether it represents a disaster or a once in a lifetime opportunity with great consequences on destiny, regardless of nature or ordeals and opponents, and despite the losses suffered, if one that obstacles can be overcome and enemies defeated, you know? So this is talking about war too, you know?
You said about war, going to war.
Huh?
You said about going to war.
Nah, I'm just breaking down the natal alignments that's going on right now. But I'm breaking it down in a Orisha type of way, you know. So I'm talking about right now.
You don't
You,
lie.
yeah, yeah, I'm
Okay.
live. Yeah, Shango. I'm talking about Shango. He's a warrior. You know, so I'm giving the people 12 rules of the game for a young king. You know,
Okay.
Yeah, so right now I'm at number 5. So this is when it comes to you as a warrior, expressing yourself when it comes to your charisma, and you're gonna have a lot of women looking at you in that type of way, in a sexual type of way, because of how you come off. You already come off as a king. You already come off as that alpha male and stuff like that. But if you know that you're going to be a king, if you know that you're going to have this type of job, you can't be out here, having sex, with these women all willy nilly, putting people business out there in the street, messing with messy women, fucking with messy women,
Oh, that's
you know. So yo, man, we out here talking to the young kings out here, man. Let them know what's up. Real recognize real. You know. So that's very important. So now we get into the sixth house. So this is the type of self improvement attitude that you need to have as a young black king out here. You know. Um. So the sixth house is in Capricorn. You know. So we know that a part of Shango's work is to rectify what Ogun did to Yemoya. You know. So what does that mean? You know. We know from looking at the past, we see how the elders failed us. You know. So our job when it comes to rearing the young black kings, our job is to be able to show them how not to do it. Is to be able to show these young black men, how not to, how not to carry them, how not to do certain things, you know, as an elder that feel like that they missed their mark. That's the best type of game that you can bestow on a young black king, you know. Um, we know that Capricorn, this is about career. This is about being the GOAT. We know as a young Shango, your destiny is to be the GOAT. So the way you self improve, your work ethic has to be like a GOAT. Think about how Shango works. He's very meticulous. He's very analytical. He's very analytical. He's very meticulous. He's very, he can be very slow when it comes to making decisions and when it comes to doing certain things, because he want to make sure that it's right. You know. So for my young kings, when it comes to the way you self improve, you gotta always think about yourself as the GOAT. Even if you may not see yourself, or you may not be in that position just yet, you know, you gotta come off as someone who's always working on themselves, becoming the GOAT. They're always, when I see you out here, you know, as a young man, you know, I should always see you working on yourself, grinding to be a king, working, working in positions to where you can be a king at. You know, that's a really, really big thing when it comes to that. You know, and and with Pluto being in the sixth house, deep seriousness. When you're self improving, when you got this work ethic that you're gonna be the GOAT one day, this got to be a deep seriousness that you have to have about this. This is you showing your work, and you showing improving. You're studying. You're showing yourself improve. You at work early. You at work before everybody else get there. You at practice. You're like, while everybody else is at the club, you're at the gym. You working out. You getting your together. You're always on your job. You're always on your grind. You know, um, and that's how your work ethic should be. All right. So now we're getting into your relationship. So now we're getting into your relationships as a young black king, as a Shango, as a young Shango. You know, um, look for sapiosexuals. You know, women who are attracted man's mind, you know, women who are attracted to a man's intelligence, you know, women who look at wisdom, look at humility and humbleness and things like that, um, as what turns them on, you know. And this is very important, you know, because right now, so your stability as a king depends on this, you know. Um, Shango didn't get linked up with Obanani until he was at that level, showed himself approved, you know. The Aries Shango, right now, he's learning. You know, he's in class. He's smelling himself. You know, he gotta, you know, he's learning about his individuality right now. So this is game. This is game. This is game that's being taught. Um, you know, Obatala is like, you know, son, one day, one day you're gonna be a king and you're gonna have a Obanani for a wife, you know. So he's preparing him mentally for the type of woman that you need to look for, you know. Now we got a lot of planets in this seventh house because when it comes to the young black kings, who you choose to partner up with, it really can make or break you. It really can make or break you out here. You know, being a king. Make sure we get these likes up, man. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Let's get these likes up. You know, we got Saturn in Aquarius. So this is a very, very serious. This right here, like I said, when we talk about Saturn in Aquarius, it puts a lid over your honeypot as a woman. Saturn in Aquarius in the fifth house, you know, Saturn in Aquarius, it puts a invisible condom on as a man, you know. So when it comes to relationships, when it comes to partnerships, you know, um, you got to partner up with like-minded people. So if you look at yourself as a king, you're carrying yourself as a king, you know who you are, you're constantly working on yourself. You're only Stray Panther, um, my channel isn't monetized, so the profanity is cool. You know, I don't my channel isn't monetized. So I don't really care about the profanity as long as it's not like vulgar like towards me or like it's, you know, like that, you know. So when it comes to who you partner up with, you know, make sure you're associated because the 11th house is in Taurus. Associate with stable people, associate with stable women, stable goddesses, you know, who also have a self-esteem and who also look at themselves like a Queen Yalorde, you know. You gotta associate yourself with that. And Saturn in Aquarius is gonna whip you into shape and make sure that you're associating, um, you know, with those type of people, places, things, and situations. You know, because at the end of the day, your reputation depends on it. You know, being an alpha male, you know, being a young king, you know, your reputation is everything, and you don't want to have a bad reputation all because you associated with the wrong person. You was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and now you're looked at in a way that's not king like, you know. And and with this Juno, this is the type of attitude towards relationships that you got to have when it comes to Juno. You know, this is talking about adaptation of the marital partner and to the defense of the individual rights. You know, this is in the field of marriage. This is the type of attitude in relationships as a young black king that you need to have. You need to be an active, observant, and optimistic character, endowed with the capacity to turn obstacles into assets. Childhood is clouded by financial setbacks, you know, underwent by the parents. For professional purposes, one travels abroad and amasses valuable knowledge, which which you put this into practice for your country. Success and decent, success and decent wealth can be achieved in all careers requiring movement. You know, so this is very important. This is someone who comes off as well cultured. You know, you when it comes to your partnerships, this is you creating partnerships around the world. You know, different you creating allies, you know, different allies around the world. You know, you creating partnerships with people in high places, you associating yourself with the right people in high places that can really open doors and make moves, you know. And once you become that king and now you're at this status, you got very, very important contacts that you can depend on, you know. All right. So now we're at the eighth house in Aquarius, you know. So everything that I said about relationships, when it comes to your business, when it comes to your sexual, you know, your sexual nature and all of that, you know, this is 23 degrees Aquarius. You got to come off as a elder in that department, you know. Now this is two things. Now this is you, um, you know, this is you being very intelligent in pleasing, in knowing how to please a woman, knowing how to satisfy a woman, you know. And Shangos are very, very, very good in that department. But but they only give it to women that can handle that type of energy, you know. Not a lot of women, they like, yo, I want a man that can break my back out, that's a beast in the bedroom, and then they can't handle that. You know, they want them all to themselves, and they start, you know, acting crazier than a man when he's pussy whooped. So this is a young king that is taught how to intelligently use that energy, you know, being knowledgeable about business, being knowledgeable about business, being knowledgeable about economics, you know, being knowledgeable about the occult, you know, being knowledgeable about these things, you know. Um, and at the end of the day, let's see, let's see, let's see. Do we got any planet? So we don't even got no planets. We don't even have any planets in this house. So this is just straightforward. You know, this is straightforward. Being very, very intelligent, sexually intelligent, intelligent with business, intelligent the secrets that you amass. You know, um, the worst thing when you become a king, there's always going to be people trying to exploit you. There are always going to be people looking to dethrone you, you know, looking to dethrone you with gossip, looking to dethrone you with rumors. You know, don't let it be true, because people say anything. You know, people are jealous. They'll say anything, but don't let it be true. You know, don't be out here, you know, having sex all willy nilly with all these different women and stuff like that. And now you're at that status of a king, and you know these women, you know, come together. Yo, the king exposed, Shango exposed. You know, all these. This represents Umar with the conscious stripper. You know, Umar. This is Umar Johnson with the conscious stripper, you know, because he didn't obey. He didn't obey this rule right here. He didn't obey that rule, you know. So this is very important, you know. So right now, this is where Shango is, you know. So this is um this is the ninth house in Pisces, you know. Um, and this is so when it comes to this ninth house, you know, when it comes to this, this is something that your Yemoya mother, um, This is something that Yemoya influenced Shango. You know, um, as a Yemoya, as a mother, you know, you're always supposed to big up. If you're a mom and you got a son, you're always supposed to big up your baby's father, even if y'all not together. You're always, every time your son, as a mom, every time your son asks you about their father, you're supposed to always have something positive, something high vibrational to say about their father, because at the end of the day, that's who he's going to end up being like. you know. So if you got a gripe, if you got some type of gripe with that baby's father, don't put that trauma on your son, because at the end of the day, the mother is the first media. You know, the mother is the first media, and this right here, if mothers, if you do this to your son, this is what's going to cause him a
Yes, sir.
Chiron and Aries in the ninth house. Chiron and Aries, this is a wound of individuality. And when it comes to the ninth house, in order for him to find himself, he's going to feel like that he got to get with different women. He got to be a hoe. He got to be a womanizer. He got to be, if you say, oh, your father ain't shit, then he going to be like, yo, I guess I ain't shit neither. So now you got to go through all these crazy experiences to get the wisdom that, yo, maybe mom was wrong about my dad, you know. And then Obatala comes and gives you the real wisdom, and now you got red pill rage, you know. So with this ninth house in Pisces, you know, um, for you not, what's up, Cosmic Ray? For you not to be in La La Land, you know, um, for you not to be in La La Land as a king, you know, um, your your spirituality, it got to be on point. You got to have a strong spiritual base. You got to have a strong spiritual base, and your spiritual base has to coincide with your dreams, with what you're trying to be. So if you know you're going to be a king, you got to have a spirituality that teaches you how to be a king, how to move as a king, how to operate as a king. You know, you got to have that type of mentality. You know, and Mercury and Pisces, you're gonna have a lot of communication. You're gonna have a lot of people trying to kill your dreams. You're gonna have a lot of people with words trying to kill your dreams. So you got to be strong. You got to have a strong spiritual base. You know, Neptune and Pisces. You know, this is a lot of times. This is what makes young kings go on at stage one. And if you don't know what the stages of enlightenment are, go back to my podcast about the enlightened man. I broke that whole thing down, talking about the different stages of enlightenment. You know, um, because at the end of the day, as a alpha king, as a man, as a Shango, you know, um, your intuition, your inspiration, you know, um, your impressionability depends on this spiritual component. Have a very powerful spiritual base, and that's all based on your fourth house. You knowing where you come from, you know. Um, and this is why when we talk about Haiti, when we talk about the Haitians who are still versed in Palomyombe, the people of the Congo who are well versed in Palomyombe, you know, they got an alpha essence about them, because they know where they come from. They got a strong spiritual base, and this is what makes them powerful. Jupiter in the ninth house, you know. Your spirituality is what's going to give you a large vision and generosity. Your strong spiritual base is what's going to give you that expansion and power. You know, your strong spiritual base is what gives you that energy as a magistrate, that energy as a professor. You know, all of these things that you have to show spiritually, as a king. You know, to show that, yo, I'm unshakable, I'm unbreakable. You know, and at the end of the day, um, if you don't want to heed this message, if you don't want to heed this message, you know, um, people are always going to be able to run game on you. And who wants to have a king appointed that a court gesture can run game on you? Someone who can throw some smoke and mirrors, you know, and run game on you. You know, who wants that? You know? So if you don't want to heed this message, you know, this is going to make you a loyal and gullible character, prone to misjudgments. You know, one often misplaces their trust and overestimates one's ability to evaluate people's honesty. Speculations are doomed to failure, and it brings about serious reversals of fortune. It is necessary to learn to know oneself, to accurately assess one's strength, and to extremely be careful in business and in the selection of partners. Should the natal chart concur, you know, this warns against travels across the sea and all activities involving water, you know. So if you feel like that you're going to lose yourself spiritually getting with a woman, until you find yourself in a strong spiritual base that's going to make you alpha as a king, don't even deal with women, you know, because at the end of the day, this right here is really going to make you or break you. All right. So when it comes to your career, you know, everything that's involved with your impulse and your individuality, it has to do with this being a goat, midheaven and Aries, you know, you understanding what you came here to do, you understanding wholeheartedly what you came here to do. So everything about you has to be of a king, of a, you know, even as a young boy, as a young child, you know, even as a young child. So that's very important, you know. 11th house, associating with stability, associating with high self-esteem, associating with, um, you know, with other people who got high senses of self-worth, you know, um, a lot of men who are meant to be kings, a lot of women who are gold diggers are going to try to associate themselves with you. The Taurus Oshun that loves to be, that loves, you know, shiny things, that loves to shine. You know, this is the type of Oshun. This is the type of Oshuns, that will try to attach themselves to you because they see dollar signs. You know, and these are going to be some beautiful, uh, beautiful Oshuns, and you got to make sure that you're strong enough, like a bull. You got to be stubborn like a bull to not let that deter you. You know, because if you do, you know, Lilith and Gemini in the 11th house is going to make you look like a heretic saint because of because of who you choose to associate with. You know, and if you heed this message, you know, when it comes to, if the people, places, things, and situations that you associate yourself with is based on your baby issue mindset, you know, this is going to make you come off as a sensual, caring, and anxious character, endowed with a strong concern for the family, you know, And that's the type of energy that you got to have as an alpha king. You know, someone who is a family man. This is why Obatala linked Shango up with Obanana. You know, um, because who wants a womanizer, that's single as a king? Who wants that? Who wants to be ruled by someone you know who can't show that they have a stable house, you know, stable association. And last but not least, when it comes to your desires, you you know, all of this is taught by your father. You know, um, let me see, 12th house in Cancer. Your desire is to be like your elders. If they were alpha, if they were kings, if they were, this is a desire for Shango to not only be a king like Obatala, but for him also to be the alpha male that his real father Aganju was, you know, and he takes that extremely seriously. And if you can heed that message as a man, you will be glad that you did. All right, now let's go. Let's get to the women. So, so this is for my queens. If you know, so this is a woman who is a Brittany Renner. This is a woman who is Blue Jasmine. This is a woman who is um, a young um, what's the name of the April Jones? A young April Jones, a young Brittany Renner. For my Brittany Renners out there, for my April Joneses before they had kids, you know, you looking fly. You ready to have some creative experiences and stuff like that. You know, um, you know that that you want to be a queen one day. So this is for my ladies. Make sure y'all hydrate. Like Steve Boogie say, hydrate, niggas. Hydrate. Okay, where my rag at? Okay, so this is for the women. Number one, um, your innocence has to be visible on you. Whatever you need to do, whatever shadow work you need to do, so that baby Oshun that's destined to be a Queen Yalorde can show on you. You know, that's extremely important because at the end of the day, that's what's going to separate you from everybody else. You know, a Queen Yalorde, you know, she doesn't move like the rest of the Oshuns. You know, um, and this is the Queen Yalorde who has to do a lot of things that she don't really want to do, but she understands that this is how you got to move like as a queen. You know, so now we're talking about Mama Chola. You know, this is what Mama Chola is telling to the baby Oshun. If you want to be a Queen Yalorde one day, because remember, the Queen Yalorde ended up marrying Shango too, and having twins by him. You know, so this is very important. If you want to attract the king, you have to you have to on an outward level be the queen. You know, and queens dress a certain way. You know, queens they know how to leave certain things to the imagination. You know, they know how to show off, but they know how to not be a hoe with it, not to look like a thought with it. You know, you're not supposed to look like a Lilith and Aries. You know, you're supposed to look like a Leo, someone who shines like the sun, you know, who your essence, there is something about your essence that makes you outshine everyone else around you, as a woman. Very important. With the second house in Leo, this is about self-love. You know, self-love is very important for my queens, for my ladies, for my baby Oceans. You have to have self-love because that's what turns you into a baby. You got to be a baby. You got to have that. You got to have that self-love, that self-care. You got to come off as someone who's high maintenance, but you're low maintenance because you can take care of yourself. You can make your own money. You can get it. It's very easy for a beautiful woman to get money. You know, but a queen, she knows how to move in a certain way to where it's like, yeah, I got my shit together. I'm a queen. I got my own. But you know, I still need a king. I got this right here left over. I got this right here to where a king can come in and see, like, okay, you know, she's beautiful. She got herself together. But I can see how, me as a king, I can see how I can add to her life, and we can rule an empire together. That's the type of self-esteem, self-worth, attitude towards possessions, attitude towards value. That's the value that you have to have, you know, as a woman, as a queen, as a queen Yalorde that's gonna be with a Shango one day, you know. Mindset, you know. So mindset of the baby ocean, when it comes to a woman, a you know, um, a woman who's a baby ocean, you really got to be careful um, of what you let shape your mind, you know, because you see so many beautiful women, every day. Like, Shango, he sees beautiful women every day, every single day that are literally throwing their panties. They're literally throwing their panties at him. So as a woman, what's going to separate you from everybody else in the crowd, you know, is that you have the mindset of a baby Oshun, a baby Yeshua, you know. So what does this mean? That means that the way you think, the way you communicate, your mindset is unique. You know, he can't find that nowhere else. Like like you got the mindset of a virgin, you know, and someone who has the mindset of a virgin, they can be molded. They can be molded by a king. They can be molded by an alpha male. You know, um, you see so many women out here. It's hard for them to get with a Shango. Hold on, y'all. Um, it's very hard. It's very hard for a lot of women a lot of oceans to attract that Shango because of um, because of the trauma that they went through with other men, and this trauma has shaped their mind in a certain way to where they're like, I'll never uh, do this for a man again. I'll never act like this for a man again. I'll never do this and this and this because I've been hurt. You know, and that alone will run a alpha male away from you. You know, um, because no matter how beautiful you are as a woman, you have to have a mindset to where you know where a authority can come in, and you can be submissive to direction. That is very important. you know, and you gotta have that type of mindset, you know, to be a Queen Yalorde, you know. The reason why the baby Eshu can always attract baby Oshuns is because he understands, even though they're beautiful and they're sexy, he knows if you can get their mind, if you can get a woman, a baby Oshun mind, the body, the body ain't nothing, you know? That's why you hear pimps all the time, I want your mind. You know, a woman got two poom pooms, you know? The poom poom is between their ears, and then the poom poom between their legs. But the one between your ears has to be the cleanest, you know. Um, let's see. Let me see what about the sons of Oshun, female Orisha? Um, find I find very little combos about male children of Orisha. Um, so sons of Oshun, you know, a lot of them, grow up to be um, a version of Shango that is extremely egotistical if you don't know yourself. You know, again, self-love. I talked about that when I was talking about the men. Self-love is very, very important if you are a a male Oshun, because a male Oshun is very attracted to shiny things. The male Oshun is the one that got the Cartier glasses. The male Oshun is the one that got the the icebox necklace, with the Hublot. The male Oshun got the Hublot around his wrist, you know, and a male Oshun, don't let that define you. That can define you. You don't want to let that define you, because at the end of the day, if you let that define you, the right person is gonna look at you as a lick, and you're gonna get robbed. You know, um, so don't play the big bad wolf, because there's always someone that's more alpha than you. It's about respect. You know, I can be looking like a bum, but it's got to be something about my energy that you're gonna respect me no matter what, and that comes with self love. It got to come from the heart. So back to the women, back to the ladies, back to the ladies. So let's go to the fourth house. You know, um, when it comes to your household, and this one can be a little hard. This one can be a little hard depending on how you was raised, because being an Obanani comes from the way you was raised in the home. Libra in the fourth house. You know, the reason why Obanani became an Obanani is because she had Yemoya as an example. She had Yimbo as an example. She had Ayazan, Mama Chola. She had so many powerful, powerful Yemoya, powerful great mothers, powerful queens of civilization to look up to. And she's like, yo, I would love to be like that one day, you know? So if you don't have that, Libra can also mean Akasha. You got to do that shadow work, and you got to release those traumas of the home. You gotta meditate, tap into your Akashic records, so you can find out your true lineage. You got to figure out what queen lineage that you're from. Even if this is something that wasn't shown to you in the home, you know, it is still your responsibility to show that you got good home training, someone who has a balanced home training. You know, very important if you want to be a queen. A queen Yalorde. You know, sixth house, sixth house. Your self improvement game gotta be serious. You know, when I see you as a queen Yalorde, you know, I gotta see a woman that has been working on herself, working on this self improvement, you know, um, and seeing the fruits of that labor, you know. Um, so while you're out here, wait, let me see. What up? Did I do the fifth house already? Oh no, I didn't. I didn't do the fifth house. The fifth house shit. My bad. So the fourth house was Libra, making sure you have a balanced upbringing. You know, and if you didn't have a balanced upbringing, do that shadow work. Tap into your akashic records so you can learn who you are. You know, and start acting in that. So if you learn who you are and you find out that you're a descendant of Sekhmet, you know, now it's time for you to start walking in that, being Sekhmet. If you find out that you are Ishtar, if you find out that you're a Queen Isis, you know, you gotta start walking it like you talk it. You gotta start walking in that, you know, showing that you're a Mayat, showing that you're balanced because you got good home training. A baby Oshun that got good home training, bro, that alone is gonna get you those looks from King Shango alpha males that you need to be with, you know. Now, when it comes to this fifth house is very important for my ladies because this is your sexual energy, your sexual creative energy. You know, you have to transform the way you look at this fifth house because if not, Oya is going to be able to infiltrate your thoughts, you know, infiltrate, and you're gonna feel like being a alpha female is someone who has a lot of sex with a lot of different guys, you know, someone who keeps a lot of secrets, you know, someone who's very chaotic, you know, someone who's very you know, when it comes to someone who has more charisma, they'll betray they'll betray the one that they're with to get with somebody else who's outshining you, you know, as a man, you know. Um, as a woman, you don't want to come off as that. You know, you don't want to come off as a Oya creatively, because at the end of the day, that's someone who can't be trusted. You can't be trusted. It's like it's a woman who they got everything else together, but when they get horny, they can't be trusted. You know, when it comes to you being with an alpha male as a woman, you know, he's not going to be around all the time. And as an alpha male, I got to be able to trust that while I'm gone, you're not out here fucking with all the Tom, Dicks, and Harrys, all because, you know, they're around and I'm not, you know. Um, because as a Queen Yalorde, all your secrets is going to come to the light once you get that status. And you don't want that to be the reason why you fall, because you come off as untrustworthy, you know. Um, So so if you got a 808, if you're a baby Oshun and you got an 808 or you got an Aunt Yansa, listen to her, observe her, watch her, you know, for anything to know what not to do. You know, watch how 808 transformed from the chaotic Oya to the Aunt Yansa to the 808 that has a Dambala, you know. Um, And that's how you need to move. When it comes to your creative energy, you need to move like an 808. 808, she's only gonna give her sexual energy to Dambala because she's loyal. She's loyal. She's loyal to Dambala. And 808 is a beautiful, extremely. She's a dragon lady. So she's a mixture of Oshun, Oya, and Obatala. Very, very beautiful. But she only gives her creative energy to her husband, you know. So to everybody else, she's a mystery. That's how you gotta carry yourself as a Queen Yalorde. You gotta have that mystery. You gotta have that mystery about you to where men are like, damn, like whoever she with, boy, I know he enjoy that. Whoever she's with, because you look like you got a man. Damn, like whoever that woman is with, man, I bet he enjoyed that. Ooh, man, I can just imagine. I can just imagine, you know, what how that would be. You know, that's the type of mystery that you have to have when it comes to that creative energy, that sexual energy. You know, that Scorpio. You got to be sexually, you got to be sexually mysterious. You know, if you're serious about being a queen, I'm look, only only few are chosen. Many are called. Only few are chosen to be a queen. And a queen has to carry herself a certain way. So when it comes to your sexual energy, you got to be like Oya. You know, Oya, she'll let you be a window shopper. You just a window shopper, but you ain't getting in this store unless you can afford it. You know, and you afford it with your alpha essence. You know, she's only gonna mess with Dumbalas. She's only gonna mess with Oguns. You know, she's only gonna mess with Shangos who are about their business. Very important. You know. Um, now we're on the sixth house. So so because you're so adamant about this, about the way you use your energy, you know, you come off as the goat. You come off as a female goat. You know, you come off as the transformed goat because you know, as men, um, as alpha males, we're very observant. You know, um, when we start looking for women that we're interested in working with and stuff like that, um, Capricorn, we got to be real serious. So you got to come off as someone who's very serious about your work as well. You know, so so when you're serious about your work as a woman, as a queen, when you're serious about your work, um, you know, you can have a resting bitch face sometimes. You know, you can have this aura as a woman who don't play, and you can be a, you know, I don't want to say a baddie, but you can look like a baddie, but your work ethic, the way you come off when it comes to that sixth house, you know, I don't play about my work, you know, and this is something that I shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to be in a relationship with you in order to get to this point. You know, I should be able to look at you and tell, like, yeah, she's serious about her work. You know, she's serious about her self improvement. She's serious about, you know, I'm analyzing you, and I can see how serious you are when it comes to your inner child. You know, when it comes to you protecting your inner child. And if I'm gonna be with you as an alpha male, you know, I'm gonna want to protect your inner child too. But it gotta go both ways. It gotta be a two-way street, because if not, I can get hurt if I'm trying to protect something that you don't even know. You don't know your inner child, but I see your inner child, and I'm serious about protecting your inner child, but you don't care about it. You know, so that's another thing that's extremely important. You know, when it comes to your self improvement, you got to be serious about that. You got to be serious about you know, even if you got to stand alone in your work, as a queen, sometimes you got to stand alone to be the goat. You're gonna have a lot of lonely nights, a lot of lonely nights. You know, um, Oshun, she loves to be in the crowd. She loves to be in the crowd. But this version of Oshun, she's willing to be alone if that means for her to attract that alpha male, that Shango male, that Shango king that she needs. Um, you know, that's gonna complement her being the Queen Yalorde. You know, very important. So when it comes to your relationships, which is the seventh house, the seventh house is in Aquarius. So you got to be very, very intelligent. You got to be very wise, be very intelligent about who you choose to relate with. You know, When it comes to your relationships, you got to be a sapiosexual. You can't be out here getting with the shiniest man, getting with the, you know, the the guy that got all the glamour and all the, all of that, but he ain't got shit up here. You know, and I talked about this on my last video. A Obanani looks at her king from the crown down, from the crown down, from the crown chakra down. A harlot, a Pamagita, that's only looking for a check, that's only looking for a good time, she looks at a man from the bottom up. She look at his shoes, his dick size, what he got on, you know, his belt, if he got a, what he got, his material, his mouthpiece. And once it get up here, she's already sold. She done already made a mistake that she's probably gonna regret, you know. So be intelligent with your sex capades, with your relationships, you know. Um, I know we live in a world to where, we got a lot of women that are losing their virginity out of wedlock, having sex out of wedlock. So I'm not gonna come up here and be a philosophical pastor guru. But at the end of the day, if you out here and you for the streets and you trying to be a queen, you know, um, when you get up to a certain status and you're dealing with certain men, you know, because their reputation is so important, before these men get with you, they're gonna check your whole facts. They're gonna ask around. They're gonna, before they start to associate themselves with you, you know, before they open up their brand to you and start taking pictures with you and showing like, yo, this is my girl. They got to make sure that they're not about to, you know, bestow their fortune upon a 304. You know, so you gotta take heed to that. Understand like, yo, don't be associating yourself with people, places, things, and situations to where if things in the dark come to the light, they're not gonna be pretty because it always comes to the light because you're the Queen Yalorde, which means that all everybody else wants your spot. Don't give them a reason. Don't give them the ammo that they need to take your spot as a Queen Yalorde, as a baby Oshun. You know, the eighth house is an Aquarius too. Be very intelligent with how you use your sexual energy. Be very intelligent. You know, so fifth house, when it comes to that energy, you already come off as mysterious. You know, mysterious. Have men really look at you like, yo, if I gotta get if in order for me to get with this type of woman, like it's damn near gonna be like a job interview in order for me to get with her. And you gotta come off as someone who deserves that. You're working on yourself, you know, you got the self-love, you come off as a baby Oshun, who got the innocent maiden persona, you know, someone who a man would be easily to spoil, but you don't want to be spoiled because at the end of the day, you're high maintenance, but you're low maintenance, you know. So I need an alpha male. I need a king. I need a someone who's gonna be a um, someone who's gonna be a representative of your Obatala father, someone who's just like your father. You know, so that alone is going to give you a intelligent association when it comes to your relationships, because at the end of the day, you don't want to come off as a heretic saint. Gemini in Lilith in the 11th house. Word always gets around, and a lot of times it be the people that you associate with that do you in. You know, A lot of times when you get betrayed, and this is for women and men, it's always someone who is associated with you that's trying to betray you, you know. So when it comes to your ideas and your business, you know, you got to keep that to yourself. You gotta have a type of business to where can't nobody can't nobody get dirt on you. You know, look at Beyonce. You know, all the men that Beyonce done slept with, they ain't out here. Yo, I done fucked Beyonce. Beyonce exposed. I got videotape. I got screenshots. You know, I done bent Beyonce over. You don't see that because Beyonce, she don't carry herself like that. When she do interviews and when she do stuff, Jay-Z is not too far behind. And even when he's not there, what Beyonce said in that podcast about the Jezebel Isabel, she was like, I would not be where I am today if I didn't go home to that man. And that's the type of attitude towards relationships that you need to have. And that alone is going to separate you from everybody else. And that alone may make you alone, may make you lonely because you don't even want to associate with other women who are wayward. You know, you only want to associate with other undesperate housewives. You want to be an undesperate housewife and only associate yourself with other undesperate housewives. You know, if you're serious about this, about being a queen Yalorde one day, you know, ninth house, ninth house, you know, the wisdom that you get from your great mother is going to be the most important thing, you know. And if you don't have a great mother that you can get that wisdom from, you know, um, try your grandmother. You know, your grandmother, Nana Baruku. Try your grandmother. You know, um, you know. If not, you know, there's mentors out here. You know, there's um, you know women out here that are coaches and stuff like that who are walking the walk, and you can get that wisdom of how they became so great. You know, that's very important. The wisdom of the divine feminine is the most important thing. The wisdom of the divine feminine is the most important thing as a queen Yalorde that's going to separate you from these harlots and these wayward Pumbagiras out here. You know, because you know these are women that are beautiful, but they don't have a feminine nature, a feminine, divine feminine essence about them. You know, they just look good. You don't want to be a woman that just look good, you know, who could have had it all. But you're missing that divine feminine essence that will make a man want to have you on their arm, you know. Um, a unwise woman, a un because a Pisces in the ninth house, this is what makes you a virtuous woman. Because your grandmother and your great mother is what teaches you your virtues. This is what teaches you your virtues and your values and stuff like that. You know, Shay Danae, you said I had to cut my friends off. Yeah, that's true. You know, if your friends aren't great mothers themselves, great mothers that are wise, you know, again, Chiron and Aries, you want to individualize, you want to differentiate yourself from these women who are baby mamas, you know, and the wisdom that you need to make sure that you don't become a baby mom, you know, you get that wisdom from your great mother or your great grandmother, you know, very important. That's you you carrying yourself like a queen in this type of way. This is what makes you hot. This is what makes you look hot. Like damn, like you know, not only would she look good on my arm, I could see her having my kids. I could see us ruling together. I could see her being an empress and I'm the king. Like, you know, this is something that out of impulse that we can see about you as a woman. We got to be able to see that as an impulse. Like, damn, like Yo, yo, who is that? Yo, wait, yo, I like that. You know, that's what make niggas, you know, niggas who can't handle a woman like that, you know, that's what make niggas stutter and stammer when they try to talk to you. You know, that's the type of um, individuality. Someone who looks like they're on their job. You know, um, what they say if you're a they say if you're a waitress, you wear a certain uniform to be a waitress. If you're a stripper, you wear a certain uniform to be a stripper. You know, um, you got to be on your job. You got to your uniform that you wear every day when you go out. It has to be the uniform of a queen. You know, a uniform of a queen Yalorde. You know, so everybody else is talking about, oh, you know, I don't want to be like my great mother. You know, I don't want to be like the women of the old days because, you know, um, they were subjugated by their men and all of this feminism stuff. You know, you can subscribe to that if you want to, but I'm telling you right now, you know, a feminist woman, a alpha king, a Shango is not trying to hear all that. Because at the end of the day, if you know you having this ideology, it takes away from your Virgo in the third house. It takes away from that innocent nature in your mindset that a Shango can look at you like, okay, I can mold her. You know, I can make her the queen of my castle. You know, and you gotta look like someone. You gotta come off. You gotta come off as a queen who can rule. You know, not because you have a commanding beauty, but also because you got a commanding way of carrying yourself. You got a commanding way of of thinking. You got a commanding way of speaking. You got a commanding diction about yourself. You know, 11th house, associations. You know, um, associating yourself with stability, associating yourself with other baby oceans who got a high self-esteem too. You know, associating yourself with other baby oceans who also are like-minded. You know, and that's what's going to keep you. That's what's going to keep you stable. You know, associating yourself with the Hathor energy, the Hathor sacred cow, sacred Venus energy. You know, associating yourself with that because again, you know, this is a part of your essence. You know, you associate with like-minded people of your essence. So you don't want to be one of these women who are good girls, but they associate themselves with wayward, chaotic Oyas. So the alpha men, they overlook you because they think you're just like your friends. You know, I don't want to go out with you and you know and you're associating with these chaotic friends and I'm a person of value, you know, and now because of who you're associating with, my spot can potentially be blown up, you know, because of chaos. Don't associate yourself with chaos. Associate yourself with stability and order, you know, and be stubborn about this, you know, be stubborn about this. You got to be stubborn about that. Only associating yourself with stability, you know. And other people may call you a gold digger for that. As a woman, other guys may call you a gold digger for that. But you know what? Only men with money approach gold diggers and high power escorts because they know that they can afford their services. You know. Now, I'm not saying to be a gold digger or a high power escort, but I'm saying you gotta associate with that energy. You gotta associate yourself with someone who only wants to deal with other powerful, stable, you know, type of people. You know, and let that be what turns you on. And fuck whoever has anything negative to say about that, because at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of there's a lot of wayward Oshuns out here that you can get with, that can do all the things that you want them to do, but not but you got to be like, but not I, not me. I'm not like them. I don't associate myself with them, you know. So if you want to get with me, you know, you have to be stable. You know, you got to be about your business. You know, you got to be, you know, uh, um, you got to be able to extract that Venus Hathor energy out of me when I'm in your presence. You know, those are the type of alpha males as a Queen Yalorde that you got to be associated, that you have to be associated with. And last but not least, 12th house in Cancer. You know, so this is a woman who has a long history, a long lineage of other queens, you know, of other ancestors who are queens who can bestow that knowledge upon her, you know. Um, and your desire is to be like your great grandmother, you know. And you can't have these type of desires if you don't know who you are. You can't have these type of desires if you haven't done that shadow work and looked into your Akashic records to see what lineage you're from, you know, because your roots and your lineage is going to play a part in your desires, whether you know it or not, whether you're privy to it or not. So you got to know who you are. That's the first thing, you know. And once you learn who you are, you start going up those stages of enlightenment, you know. um, that's how you're going to be able to radiate in this essence, you know, being the Queen Yalorde. And you doing that, you're going to attract the Shango that is right for you, the Alpha King Shango that is right for you. So if you heed that message, my ladies, you will be glad that you did. All right, y'all. This was a super long video, you know. But I had to bring this out. It's crazy. It's crazy because you know, every time that I really got to give a really deep message, I'm always off. I'm always off that day, you know. So I appreciate everyone who joined this stream. I appreciate everyone who's here. I hope that y'all get something from this, you know. Um, donate. My cash app is Mr.BCN, MRBCN. You know, help a brother, so I can keep giving y'all this knowledge, keep giving y'all these alignments. If y'all like these, you know, and want me to do more, make sure you express that in the comments. If you would like a reading, you know, and so you can learn about your alignments. www.bandclaptv.com. Um, you know, I got natal chart readings. I got everything is everything, which is an all-encompassing type of reading. If you really are serious about knowing who you are, um, you know, right now in this Aries season, it's all about showing your uniqueness and your individuality. You know, so this is about separating yourself from everybody else. If you're a Yemoya, you know, you're supposed to be a step higher than a Pomagera. You know, you're not supposed to be out here freaky, being super freaky with all these random guys and stuff. And you're a baby mama. You got kids because your kids are looking at you. They see you, you know, and you don't if you don't want them to be like the way you're acting, you know, don't be it. Don't do it. You know, you gotta show yourself. You gotta be a higher standard. You gotta be a higher standard if you want to attract, you know, higher value type of kings out there. You know, um, so yeah, I appreciate y'all for joining. Um, it's gonna be it's doing the on point Orisha tarot may be on hold for a while. So I'm just gonna hit y'all with these alignments. When I have time and when I'm able to do it. So I appreciate y'all for y'all love and support. Um, what's up, my babe? What's up, babe? Shay is in the building. All right. So, if y'all would like for me to personally break down your natal chart, and show you different things as well, you can join my Patreon, www.patreon.com/bandclaptv. And until next time, peace.